Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And it appears that the Lib Dem leader in Scotland, Alex Cole-Hamilton, is a very thirsty man. A couple of weeks ago, and this has only just come to light now, but a couple of weeks ago, he tried to make a point of order from his phone. He wasn't in the chamber, but he was in the Parliament, but he wasn't in the chamber. But he was watching it and he wanted to make a point of order, which I believe is allowable, sort of remote working, as it were. And that's all very fine and pleasant in theory, but it turned out that, let's just say, he'd been particularly thirsty that day and had popped in for a pint or several and was said to be rather, shall we say, dishevelled. And it was clear that alcohol had been taken and he was trying to make a point of order and vote while drunk in a pub. It's not what you expect, is it? The optics are pretty bad. Well, not the optics in the pub. Apparently they were quite delicious, as I'm sure Thirsty Cole-Hamilton will tell you. I think that's what we'll call him now, Thirsty. He obviously was in the mood for a wee dram, a wee bit of Glen Hoddle to strengthen his resolve as he made his point of order. But we'll have a look at this and see why we're not going to be slating him too badly, because we've all done things, we've all had a drink, but you know, it's just not really good looking, is it? Here you go. So, Alex Cole-Hamilton in pub Ferrari as he is accused of voting at Holyrood from the bar. Well, you know, it does explain a lot of things that go on if they are actually half drunk all the time making the decisions they're making. Maybe they should make it a dry house. Certainly Humza would like that, because it goes in line with his sort of beliefs, doesn't it? But I'm sure there's one or two others that would be rather sad, shall we say, to see the bar close. The Scottish Lib Dem leader has been urged to apologise to his colleagues after making a shock appearance at Margot's bar at the Scottish Parliament while trying to vote in a debate. Obviously, he was passing and thought, I have a little taste. And so he popped in and had quite a few, it apparently seems. We're not talking just the quick stiffener. Although, shouldn't mention that anywhere around Patrick Grady. Anyway, Scottish Lib Dem leader Alex Cole-Hamilton has been caught up in a pub row after being accused of voting in a Holyrood vote from the Parliament bar. Some said the MSP looked dishevelled as he made a point of order 2 weeks ago during the debate about the proposed Disabled Children and Young People Transitions to Adulthood Scotland Bill. Long title. But his party refused to say whether or not he had been drinking in the bar for MSPs, staffers and journalists, affectionately known as Margot's, after the late SNP and independent politician Margot MacDonald. He's been urged to apologise to colleagues for his inappropriate behaviour. Yeah, but they're his best mates. You know? Give the Betsy. He used his phone to raise a point of order in the chamber on November the 23rd, and he caused a ruckus as MSPs began to jeer and laugh when they realised he was in the Parliament's pub, which is just a minute's walk away from where the vote was taking place. His face flashed up on the big screen in the chamber. Deputy Presiding Officer Liam MacArthur shook his head after his party leader said he had trouble connecting to the voting app. He then dropped out before reconnecting in a different location and asking, "Can you hear me now, Presiding Officer?" Hick, and a small bubble leaves his mouth, floats up, and it has the word Hick written in it. He said, "Sorry about that, I couldn't connect and I would have voted no." MSPs can be heard laughing and jeering in the chamber as they shouted shame and disgrace after they figured out where he was trying to connect from, and it has led to widespread criticism from opposition parties who demanded that he apologise, and quite right too. Nobody denies the chap deserves a drink. We all do. We all have a little drinky from time to time. I may even have a glass or two of wine later myself. But you don't go to work on it, do you? It's not like the old days. It's not like in the 80s. I mean, in the 80s, I used to go out for lunch and we'd always have 2-3 pints. Yeah. Kids today, eh? Never know the joy. 3 pints at lunchtime, smoking all day in the office. They were the days. Sadly, no more. But certainly, you don't sit there in Parliament passing laws when drunk. That is a definite no-no. And to be voting when drunk means, I think, that should actually be a crime. I think that should actually become a crime. Voting while under the influence of anything. You know, especially if it's ground up Kit Kats. That should be a crime too. Anyway, Scottish Tory Chief Whip Alexander Burnett said Alex Cole-Hamilton has some serious explaining to do. The public will want to know why the Lib Dem leader thought that this was appropriate. The incident fell far below those standards and he should apologise. Yes, all right. I mean, we're not asking for his head here. We've all done it. Just go in and say, look, I misjudged it. I was wrong. I apologise. I humbly apologise to everyone concerned. And just own up. And then the thing is, here's absolutely the thing. If he walked into the chamber and said, I'd like to make a statement regarding the incident on the 23rd of November. Yes, it was inappropriate. I apologise for my behaviour. I humbly submit that it shall not happen again. And then that's it. And it's accepted and everyone moves on. But it won't stop him being known from now on as Thirsty Cold Hamilton. Obviously a man who likes to bend an elbow. Never mind. An SNP spokesperson said, if this is true, it's disgraceful behaviour in any workplace. Well, I think that the SNP have done a lot more that's worse. In terms of disgrace, Alex Cole-Hamilton wasn't, touching other people's children. He wasn't lying. He wasn't thieving. I mean, one only has to look at the front bench of the SNP to see that kind of behaviour. Anyway, so, anything they say could just be thrown away. It's a load of old rubbish, hypocritical, two-faced twonks, aren't they, if they're complaining about this? Let the man apologise, move on. It's very little, but it is funny. And it is the sort of thing that, I must admit, I wouldn't have thought of Alex Cole-Hamilton. I always say, he always strikes me as someone who would have to be forcibly restrained from commenting at a golf match. Just looks like a BBC golf commentator, doesn't he? I'm sure he's a very nice man. I don't have a problem with him. Let's just let this one ride. But let's just say it's a bad move. It's not an evil move. It's not anything. It's not the end of the world. Let's move on from it and let him go. But hey, these things happen. Anyway, I'm going to round off there. I will come up and we'll call that one quits and put it down. But don't do it again, Alex. There's a good boy. Anyway, coming up. Now, if he just had, 23rd of November was a Thursday night, right? So he's probably not going to do much. They don't like working hard on a Friday, so he's probably thinking, have a couple of drinkies, get home quick, sod off for the weekend, whatever. And then he realised there was an important vote. Oh God, I've got to vote on this one. No, hick, What the hell? Don't do it again. As I say, it's just one of these things. We all have done it. We've all done something similar. We've all done this. But I just think it was the sheer hypocrisy, though, of the SNP moaning badly about it. One only has to look at the things they've done to realise that they are really, really not in any kind of place to be criticising anyone. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please tune in next time to the next video. Do please hit the subscribe button. And definitely press the like button. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. And maybe have a little drinky. Bye.